Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. Loads of stuff to discuss today on the Rostermania front once again. Yesterday, lots to talk about Raucus joining Sentinels. We've got the FaZe guys potentially going over to TSM, but where does that leave TSM Hazed? Could he be going to NRG? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do to help this channel reach more people. Please consider subscribing as well if you haven't already. Thanks for all the new subs yesterday, by the way. Got a load through. Yesterday's video did really well. Love to see it. Firstly, this from George. Some talk about skins for champions coming in, as he kind of suggests maybe it'll be like League of Legends, where the winning team for champs gets their own special skin in the game. That sounds pretty cool. This was the original article on Valorant Zone, where they're kind of talking about this special meeting from the Brazilian side that came into effect, and apparently they have no information to share on the subject, say Riot, but apparently there's some sort of special collection potentially of skins coming through as it is in League of Legends. Now, some sort of secret meeting going on. We saw actually a few days ago now that there was like a draft of the calendar that is preparing for 2022 revealed at the same presentation. So apparently some sort of secret meeting going on, and apparently they're going to bring in some sort of weapon skins for champs, which obviously is some pretty cool stuff that shouldn't be too far around the corner at this point. Let's talk then about Rostermania. Firstly, in the European side, G2, obviously they're going through some chaos right now. Their team is terrible. They want to make some moves. Nuki, maybe last week sometime, said that he wasn't happy with some of the players on the team. He wanted, he effectively said an ultimatum, keep me or get rid of some of these players. They got rid of their analyst in Rojo. They got rid of their coach, seemingly, in Neil Zinho right here. He's looking for other options, and they're pretty much just gutting the entire roster after a tragic result of the LCQ, and even since then at the Red Bull home grounds too, they got absolutely bodied, and they didn't even win a series. So that was pretty tragic, or didn't win a map, because I'm pretty sure it was best of ones early on. But as Nil says right here, he reckons that G2 should change 2 players, and he actually reckons that this is what's happening. keloqz and Coldamenta are on their way out of the team. G2 is aiming at Giants players, trials to start soon. This is kind of what we theorized, that when Nuki was like, yeah, I don't want to play with those guys, like at G2, choose me or choose them type thing, these might have been the guys that they were discussing. They went on, I remember there was an interview they did before the LCQ, where they basically said, yeah, we're going to be really hard to stop. The only team that can maybe take us down is Liquid, and of course they lose to, I don't know if they lost to Liquid, but they certainly lost to Guild to lose the tournament, which was pretty unfortunate for them. So yeah, G2, pretty tragic. They can apparently be making these changes. keloqz and Coldamenta out of there. Of course, these are their recent results. As you can see, they lost to Big, Footballist, and Team Liquid at the home grounds too. They lost to Liquid 2-1 and Guild at the last chance qualifier, as we just looked at. So Nuki, Avova, and Mixwell, we imagine, staying on the team. Coldamenta and keloqz out of there. Of course, their coach in Neil Zinho, he's out of there as well. So really interesting how this is going. Of course, it looks like they're going to look into some Giants players. So some of these guys, not really sure what their plan is to do here, because of course Giants did pretty well, for example, at this home grounds 2 tournament that we looked at a couple of days ago. But of course, one of the questions is, are they going to put Mixwell back on the Jet? Who comes in the Viper or whatever? It's definitely an interesting situation. But apparently G2 are going to keep 3 of their guys, switch up some of the staff behind the team, and then maybe bring a couple of these guys as well. So definitely still keeping that whole idea of the international roster alive, which maybe is good, maybe is bad. It seems to be working for Giants at the present time, with all of these beautiful different flags on the screen that you guys can see right here. Let's talk about this then. So yesterday we discussed FaZe. Of course, I'm going through some zero situations right now, letting go of a number of their players. Corey and the potential of Tig from LG looking to join at TSM, and the trials on going over there. Wardell, Sub-Rose staying on that roster. The rumour had it then that it was going to be Hazed making his way out of that team, which I imagine Hazed was the IGL of this squad, so kind of interesting what they're really planning to do there from the TSM front. But of course, what it also means is, where is Hazed going to go if that is true, that those guys are joining TSM? And of course, this adds more credence to the fact that those guys in Corey and Tig are joining TSM if Hazed is now apparently heading to NRG. This is the article from VLR.GG last night. Hazed has actively been practicing with NRG esports. Sources close to the situation tell VLR.GG. While details have not been finalised, Hazed has been exploring his options in the past week as he closes out his tenure with TSM. Hazed has been part of the roster for quite some time. Of course, not the greatest result, and NRG, of course, have also struggled in VCT events. Bang and Leviathan, for example, these guys that have been trialled and actually, in Leviathan's case, joined the roster in the TSM side. Hazed is not going to be there anymore. So it's really an interesting situation they find themselves in, but apparently that's what's going down. As you can see right here, this is the NRG side of things. I really like the idea of this, to be honest, especially partnering up Hazed with ShahZaM and these type of guys. It seems to make a lot of sense. They haven't played a tournament on a high level for quite some time, didn't have the greatest results, of course, in the VCT, but Hazed joining this squad makes a fair bit of sense. I actually really like that from their perspective, but from the TSM side, it is an interesting move. Of course, the TSM team hasn't worked, they need some sort of changes, and getting rid of Hazed, I guess, makes sense, but there's certainly still some questions to be answered with that team. I'm sure you guys guys can delve into in the comment section below. This, of course, from Som, for example, excited to move forward with NRG Valorant with the exciting prospect of it. And Som really has been talked about in the CS community for quite some time. Moved to Valorant now. I think it should probably only a matter of time until, well, he puts up some serious damage in the competitive scene. But, well, also wanted to dive into this as well from the Sentinel side. Because we talked about Raucus, of course, yesterday joining as coach. There's been some serious reaction to this. There's been some talk about, okay, is this good for the team? Is this bad for the team? Like, is it good for Raucus, for example? Like, George was kind of discussing the possibility of, like, I actually feel bad for Raucus because if they lose champions, like, people are going to blame him. But I don't really think, I don't know, like, if people do that, it's kind of stupid, to be honest, as if Raucus is going to somehow hurt the team. But in general, the reaction has been very positive. I'll show a couple of clips here from a Sean Gares when he says that, like, yeah, Raucus is actually a great move, not because they need anyone to bring more structure, but just because they need people to give them some new ideas. And that's what Raucus goes on to say as well. The fact that, yeah, like, I'm bringing in new ideas to this roster. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to tell them how to play the game, but I'm just going to switch up their playstyle to some degree and give them some new thoughts just so they can get even better and continue on their run as they have done so far this season at Champions as well.
I think Raucus as coach will work. I think, yeah, dude. So I actually really like the idea of Shaz using Raucus as a coach, right? Obviously, people were speculating if I would do it, and that wasn't the case. But
thank you.
I think having the perspective of someone from a different game and a team that has had success, but in a very different manner than your team, is a very It's a very like forward way of thinking. I like it a lot because. Sure, Raucus isn't going to come in and like change their blueprints across all the maps, right? Like he's not going to change like their defaults and probably like what agents they're locking in, but he might teach them tricks and stuff, just thinking about the game in a totally different way. And I love that. Like that's what Sentinels needs to actually stay on top. They need to slightly make changes to their game and not just get more structured, right? Like I think teams can fall into the trap of being like, oh, we've lost, we need to get more structured. But it might be that you just didn't have enough like little gimmicks or quirky plays to do, or like there's a lot of reasons.
They're all like insanely talented players. They don't need anyone to like hardcore coach them. They like know how to play the game. Obviously, they won 2 Masters back to back. I think I'm gonna help them with like personally what I want to help them with is like cheesy strats, like new ideas, stuff like that. I want to also like. It probably helps have someone to hold them accountable for anything, like, you know, just anything. Just like all this little stuff, so.
And just to finish off very quickly then, this from Coco, a new source comes out and suggests that Misfits Gaming are going to sign 24 Haven, a women's Valorant roster, so cool to see them entering a foray really into the competitive scene. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit in a like button, tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I was like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.